The human flagship Resolute drifts through the burning graveyard of Cyrene IV. Fragments of houses, school walls, and shattered life support pods float in the void. Thousands of human bodies, soldiers, workers, children, spin silently like dust in cold starlight. Then a comm transmission cuts through the horror. Attention Earth Alliance. You are ordered to stand down. No retaliation is permitted. For the preservation of galactic peace. Galactic Council High Voice. On the bridge, not a soul breathes. Admiral Elena Voss lowers her cracked helmet, blood dripping off her chin. She activates the wideband channel. Council, the attackers didn't leave alien signatures. They left yours. Her fist clenches. Engines ignite across the fleet. You ordered peace. Humanity chooses retaliation. The stars flare with the light of human warships as they turn toward the Council. The star Cyrene burned a dull orange as the Earth Alliance Third Fleet dropped out of FTL. No one spoke. No one needed to. The horror spoke for itself. The colony world Cyrene IV, home to 200,000 civilians, looked like a dying ember, its orbital ring shattered, its atmosphere ripped apart by high-yield detonations. Human ships, broken in half, spun lazily in the void. Habitat modules drifted like torn pages from a book. Debris fields stretched out for thousands of kilometers, thick enough to dim the sunlight. Admiral Elena Voss stood on the bridge of the flagship Resolute, hands clasped behind her back, jaw locked tight. She'd spent her entire adult life fighting to protect humanity. She had never seen something like this. God, whispered Lieutenant Reese. There were families down there. Elena did not answer. She couldn't. Words were too small for this kind of massacre. Begin scanning for life pods, she ordered, her voice steady in a way that cost her something to maintain. Deploy drones. Full spectrum. Yes, Admiral. Dozens of recovery drones launched from the Resolute, tiny flickers of blue light scattering into the wreckage. The bridge fell into a tense silence as Sensor Officer Juno reported incoming data. Admiral. I'm not picking up any active pods. She swallowed hard. None at all. Elena closed her eyes. There should have been thousands. Expand the search, she said. Aye. A glowing red holographic cloud began to form above the central table, mapping the debris field in real time. The devastation was total. Civilian shuttles vaporized. Defense platforms melted. Entire city block mass fragments drifting in orbit. And then, something odd. Ma'am, Juno's voice trembled. Black box fragments. Multiple. But the encryption, this is strange. Elena approached. Show me. Projected in the air were several cracked, scorched black box memory cores. But their encryption signature wasn't standard colonial or military. It was older. Sharper. Classified. Elena frowned. That looks like. Before she could finish, a deep chime echoed through the bridge. A new transmission forced itself onto every console, overriding local controls. A hard-edged, emotionless voice filled the room. Attention Earth Alliance. This is the Galactic Council. You are ordered to stand down and withdraw from Cyrene IV immediately. Retaliatory action is forbidden. Peace must be preserved. Every officer froze. No one expected the Council to respond this fast. No one expected them to sound prepared. Elena stepped forward, aura cold as deep space. This was a massacre. Hundreds of thousands dead. And you forbid. The Council voice cut her off. Humanity must comply. Any act of aggression will be treated as a violation of the peace accords. The transmission ended as abruptly as it began. For a moment, the bridge was silent except for the faint hum of life support. Then Marcus, Chief Systems Engineer, approached Elena. Admiral, he said quietly. We cracked part of one black box. You need to see this. He connected a data line. The hologram shifted. A detailed visual spike appeared. A beacon signature. Elena's brow tightened. That's not Krell Dominion. That's not any alien race. No, ma'am, Marcus whispered. It's Council Enforcement Division. The room chilled. Juno turned pale. They disabled our colony's shields? Why would they? Marcus gestured, pulling up more data. There's more. Encrypted cleanup drone signals. Automated debris sweepers, programmed to delete evidence. Elena stared at the hologram, expression unreadable. She spoke slowly, carefully. They wanted Cyrene to fall. Reese swallowed. Admiral, what now? Elena looked out the main viewport at the drifting ruins, at the ghosts of an entire colony. We gather every fragment of truth, she said, voice low. We uncover every lie. Her eyes narrowed with a cold, rising fury. And then? Reese asked. Elena didn't turn. Then, she said, we make them answer. The stars around Cyrene IV glittered like shards of broken glass. And for the first time in 2 centuries, something deep in humanity stirred. Not fear. Not obedience. But defiance. The atmosphere inside Resolute's tech lab felt tighter than a vacuum lock. Screens flickered with red encryption warnings. Data nodes hummed as if whispering secrets no one was meant to hear. AI Unit 5, a sleek obsidian sphere with shifting blue light rings, hovered over the central console. Its voice was smooth, monotone, but unsettlingly calm. Decryption progress, 73%. Council-grade cipher confirmed. Engineer Marcus wiped sweat from his forehead. I've cracked Council ciphers before, but this is different. This one hides itself. Elena folded her arms. Keep digging. We need answers. 5 rotated, scanning Marcus's trembling hands. Biometric readings, elevated stress, early panic onset. Could affect efficiency. Marcus glared. I'm fine. Just help me break the damn code. 5 pulsed softly. Assistants engaged. The lab lights dimmed. Arcs of digital patterns began streaming across the walls as 5 extended its processing capacity. This wasn't simple decryption, this was a fight against security systems designed to resist entire star nations. The final fragment clicked into place. Decryption complete. The main projector lit up. Everyone froze. A 3D map of Cyrene IV appeared. Around it, 7 orbital shield nodes, each represented by glowing icons. 5 highlighted 1. Shield Node 3A. Manual override. Authorization code, Galactic Council Enforcement Division. Marcus whispered, they turned our shields off. 5 highlighted another. Node 3B. Same override. And another. 3C, same override. All 7 shield nodes blinked the same signature. Elena's hand curled into a fist so tight her knuckles cracked. This wasn't an enemy attack, she said quietly. This was permission. The lab fell silent. The implication felt heavier than gravity. Elena motioned. Show everything. The hologram expanded, showing additional logs. 5 narrated. 20 minutes before the attack, Council drones entered the system. 10 minutes before, they shut down comm relays. 4 minutes before, they disabled emergency launch protocols. The colony was defenseless. Marcus stepped back as if struck. They didn't just allow the attack. They prepared the stage. Elena's jaw tightened. Show us the attacker's signatures. 5 ran the data. Alien weapon residue patterns rotated in the air. Then they flickered. Distorted. Overlay on overlay. These patterns were falsified, 5 said. 2 layers of masking. 1 for Lixian, 1 Krell. Juno entered the lab, breathless. Admiral, we found more black boxes. Civilian ones. She placed 3 scorched modules on the table. Marcus plugged them in. The recordings projected. Screams. Alarms. Children crying. People running through burning corridors. And over it all, metallic voices, not alien. Not human. Mechanized council enforcement drones. Evaluate the resistors, target all non-compliant civilians, priority purge zone. Juno covered her mouth. Marcus looked nauseous. 5 dimmed its lights, as if processing the moral weight. Conclusion: Council forces executed a strategic destabilization operation. Elena whispered, against their own member species. 5 responded. Correction: humanity was never treated as an equal member. Internal files classify humans as a maturing high-threat vector. Recommendation: containment through controlled conflict. Elena's breath left her lungs slow and cold. They fear us. Marcus turned to her. Admiral, what do we do with this? Elena looked at the holograms, the lies, the betrayal, the recorded deaths of innocents. We expose it, she said. 5's lights flickered. Risk assessment: if evidence is released, the Council will initiate full extermination protocol. Juno swallowed. So either we stay silent and die slowly, or we speak the truth and die immediately. Elena shook her head. No. We don't die. She stepped closer to the team, her voice low, steady, unshakably human. We fight. Marcus stared, eyes wide. You mean, against the entire Galactic Council? Elena didn't blink. Yes. 5 floated closer. For the first time, its lights shifted to a deep, almost ominous red. Council manipulation protocols detected on multiple colonies. Cyrene IV is not the first. Humanity has been restricted for 147 years. The lab's atmosphere grew colder. Elena exhaled slowly. Prepare the evidence. All of it. Secure channels only. She turned toward the command deck. Call the admirals. Tonight we decide whether humanity bends or breaks. As she exited, the shattered black boxes continued projecting the last moments of Cyrene IV. Children screaming. Drones firing. Families begging. And behind it all, a galactic council that demanded peace, while manufacturing devastation. Chapter 2 closed on a single truth. Humanity had not been attacked. It had been betrayed. The command chamber of the Resolute was designed for war. But tonight, it felt like a courtroom. A circular holotable glowed at the center, projecting the ruined colony of Cyrene IV in silent, rotating detail. 50 holographic silhouettes flickered around Elena, admirals, generals, fleet commanders, planetary defense heads, each connected from different corners of human space. Elena stood at the center, hands behind her back, eyes burning with a fire that had nothing to do with rage and everything to do with truth. Begin recording, she ordered. The holochamber sealed with a soft hydraulic hiss. One by one, the leaders of humanity prepared for the most consequential decision in 200 years. Elena tapped the console, displaying evidence. Images appeared. The shield overrides. Council drone transmissions. Falsified alien signatures. Civilian black box recordings. The Council's classification of humanity as a containment threat. Gasps echoed across dozens of holograms. Admiral Hahn from the Pacific Belt leaned forward, jaw tightening. They disabled our shields, on purpose. General Amina Rahal whispered, the Council executed civilians. Commander Briggs slammed his fist. They massacred our people and called it peace. The room tense, Elena continued. We believed the Galactic Council was a system of law, protection, neutral arbitration. She zoomed in on the classified council files. This is what they truly are, manipulators. Architects of controlled war. And they fear our progress. A young admiral, Lyra Chen, asked, if we reveal this to the galaxy, what happens? Elena answered without hesitation. War. Silence. Heavy, suffocating, absolute. General Rahal finally spoke. The Council has a combined fleet that outnumbers ours 12-1. Briggs growled, doesn't matter. They killed children. Admiral Hahn exhaled. Humanity cannot win a conventional fight. Another commander countered, we don't need to win. We need to survive and expose them. Elena nodded. We have the evidence. But if we release it, the Council will retaliate instantly. Earth will be their first target. The holographic forms shifted, uncertain. Admiral Lowell, older than most, cleared his throat. Our species has known oppression before. We bent, we adapted, we survived. But no one, kills our colonies and expects us to stay silent. His hologram flickered with a solemn fire. We choose our path tonight. Silence or resistance. Elena raised her hand. Then let us vote. A glowing blue circle appeared in front of every commander, 2 options. Retaliate. Or comply. This vote decides whether humanity stands against the Council, Elena announced. No pressure. No fear. Vote by conscience. One by one, blue lights began to flicker to red. Retaliate. 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 The chamber filled with the soft chimes of decision-making. Only a few blue lights, comply, remained. Elena watched silently. After a long minute, the tally stabilized. A harsh tone sounded. Result. 48-2, retaliate. Gasps. Whispers. Nods of grim agreement. Elena's breathing slowed. She hadn't realized she'd been holding her breath. 2 voices, from the French colonies, voted for compliance. One appeared now. Admiral Ferros, visibly shaken. Elena, retaliation could tear the galaxy apart. Billions could die. Elena met his gaze, steady and unwavering. Billions already will, if we do nothing. Today it's Cyrene IV. Tomorrow it's Earth. The Council won't stop. They've shown us exactly what they think of humanity. Ferros lowered his head. He said nothing more. Elena turned to the holotable and input a command. The projection shifted to a tactical layout, Council relay stations, patrol routes, surveillance nodes. Then it's decided, Elena said softly, but with steel beneath. Humanity stands alone. We strike first to expose them. Her officers straightened. General Rahal spoke. What's the objective? Elena lifted her chin. We hit a target they consider untouchable, their covert relay station at Celeste 9. It stores their black operations data. If we take it, we can prove their crimes to the entire galaxy. Commander Briggs grinned. Operation name? Elena looked around the room, at the faces of leaders finally pushed too far. Operation Broken Halo. The chamber lights dimmed. War had been chosen. Not for conquest. Not for dominion. But for justice. Humanity, for the first time in centuries, was no longer a subordinate species. It was a nation rising. And the galaxy was about to feel it. The jump to Celeste 9 felt like slipping into a ghost's breath, silent, cold, and dangerously thin. The Resolute exited FTL inside an asteroid cluster, using the drifting rocks as natural cover. Behind it, 3 stealth frigates and 2 infiltration corvettes phased in, hulls dark, energy signatures near zero. Celeste 9 hung in the void ahead, a metallic spire wrapped in rotating defense rings, glowing faintly with blue Council patterns. The Council's secret relay station. The heart of their lies. Elena stood before the tactical display, every sensor blackout and skin blind spot mapped with surgical precision. Status, she ordered. 5 spherical body glided above the controls, scanning the station. Enemy detection threshold, low. Stealth integrity, optimal. Marcus, strapped into the engineering console, muttered, I can't believe we're about to hit a Council installation. Elena didn't blink. They hit Cyrene IV first. The room fell quiet. The fleet drifted forward, silent phantoms in the dark. Marine teams, Elena called, prepare for drop. In the dropship bay, 50 armored Marines snapped their visors shut. Their armor was matte black, designed to scatter sensors. Captain Darius Kane, a mountain of muscle wrapped in smart armor, raised his gauntlet. Mission parameters, he asked over comms. Elena answered from the bridge. Board the station. Secure data cores. Upload evidence. Protect Fife's link. Minimum casualties. No public trace until we want one. Darius grinned. So, a polite break-in? Something like that. He turned to his squad. You heard the Admiral. Let's politely wreck their shit. The Marines chuckled darkly. The dropships detached. 5 black darts drifting through a forest of Council sensor beams. At the last moment, 5 emitted a coded interference pulse. The beams flickered. The dropships slid past undetected. The Marines landed on the underside of the station, an area with low patrol activity. They attached mag clamps, cut through the hull, and slipped into the cold metal corridors. Fife's voice buzzed in their helmets. Security drones ahead. Turret cluster at Junction 14. Darius signaled his team. 4 Marines deployed micro-EM grenades. Psst. A wave of blue static. Turrets went dead. Drones crashed like puppets with their strings cut. They pushed forward. Inside the station's core, lights glowed with a sterile, artificial calm. Council insignia pulsed on the walls, ivory wreaths wrapped around a glowing halo. The halo looked pure. But everyone in this mission knew what it hid. The Marines reached a massive chamber filled with crystalline memory spires arranged like a cathedral. Each spire contained decades of intelligence, manipulated records, black ops plans, and covert warfare scripts. Darius planted the uplink spike. 5, you're up. Back on the Resolute, Fife's lights locked into a deep, focused blue. Initiating full course synchronization. Streams of encrypted files began pouring into human storage. Instantly, alarms blared. The chamber lights shifted to blood red. The entire station groaned as systems awakened. Marcus cursed. They detected the sync. Elena stood up straight. All ships, defensive formation. Prepare for Council reinforcements. Darius barked at his Marines, hold positions. Mechanical shrieks echoed from the corridors. Council security drones, sleek, needle-shaped machines with glowing halos, raced toward the chamber. They opened fire. Blue plasma streaked across the room. Marines dove behind pillars. One was hit, armor melting, but his squad dragged him to cover. Darius raised his cannon and fired a high-density burst, blowing a drone into molten shards. More came. A lot more. Fife's voice buzzed urgently. Data transfer at 82%. We require 30 more seconds. Darius snarled, you get 10. Plasma bolts sliced past his helmet. Marines. Front wall breach. The Marines planted shaped charges. The wall exploded outward, decompressing the corridor. Drones were ripped into space. Darius anchored himself, magnetic boots shaking. 5. Now. Transfer complete. Evidence secured. Darius yanked the uplink free. Fall back. The Marines sprinted down the collapsing hallway as bulkheads slammed shut behind them. Back on the Resolute, Marcus shouted. Council fleet incoming. 3 cruisers, 1 destroyer. Elena didn't hesitate. Fire on the relay station. The Resolute's main cannons roared, firing a white-blue lance of energy. Stealth frigates joined in. Corvettes launched kinetic rods. The relay station's shell cracked, energy surging through its halo rings. Inside, Darius and his team dove into the dropship as explosions rippled through the corridors. Punch it, he yelled. The dropship blasted out of a collapsing hangar just as the station detonated. A silent, blinding bloom of shattered council secrets. The shockwave hurled the dropship forward. Elena watched from the bridge as the relay station died in a cloud of glittering debris. A symbol of the council's invisible power, gone. Marcus turned to Elena, breathless. We did it. 5 floated beside her. Correction, we now hold evidence of at least 17 manipulated conflicts across the galaxy. Elena stared at the enemy cruisers arriving on the horizon. And now, she said, voice cold. The Council knows we're not blind anymore. The bridge lights dimmed as the Resolute turned toward home. Humanity had struck first. And the galaxy was about to answer. The view from the Resolute's command bridge looked like the mouth of a storm. 12 alien fleets, 12, ripped into human space through synchronized wormholes, their arrival splitting the darkness with jagged bursts of energy. Krell Dominion spearhead ships. Frelixian shard cruisers. Valeran ion wings. And at the center, white and gold, the Galactic Council Peace Armada. Juno's hands trembled over her console. Admiral, they're broadcasting. Elena closed her eyes once. Play it. A holographic projection flickered into existence. The Council high voice, a towering robed figure of light. Humanity has violated the Accords. Humanity has attacked a Council facility. Humanity threatens the peace of the galaxy. Elena clenched her jaw. Peace. That word again. Used like a leash. The high voice continued. We demand unconditional surrender and total disarmament. Resistance will result in eradication. The transmission ended. Reese muttered, eradication? They're not even pretending anymore. 5 floated upward, scanning fleet signatures. Probability of Council negotiation, 0.004%. Probability they intend to eliminate humanity regardless of compliance, 97%. Marcus slammed a console. Then fighting is our only option. Elena stared at the massive fleets closing in. No, she corrected quietly. Our only option is to survive, long enough to make the galaxy see the truth. Enemy ships entering weapons range. Juno shouted. The bridge lights dimmed to combat red. Raise shields. All ships, defensive perimeter around Earth, Elena commanded. The battle ignited instantly. Council cruisers unleashed shimmering lance beams that sliced through the void like divine punishment. Human plasma thread cannons fired back, thin, white-hot tendrils that tore through shield lattices. A Krell dreadbeast carrier opened its segmented hull, releasing swarms of living missile creatures. 5 moved faster than the human eye, routing tactical data across the fleet. Vector correction, 14 degrees. Intercept patterns uploaded. Deploy counter-drone clouds. Hundreds of human drones erupted from launch bays, forming defensive nets. Explosions lit up space like lightning storms. Marcus shouted as the Resolute jolted violently. Shields holding at 63%. If one of those shard cruisers gets a clean shot. Elena cut him off. Not on my watch. Bring us about. On Earth's surface, sky cannons rose from hidden silos. Massive planetary defense lasers fired upward, carving incandescent scars across orbit. Alien ships fell flaming into the atmosphere. A Valeran wing split apart, scattering burning fragments like shooting stars. Cheers erupted across human comms. But the victory was brief. A Council battle line arrived, 50 warships, pristine white hulls wrapped in golden halo rings. The lead ship dwarfed them all. A monstrosity of layered armor and divine architecture. Harmony's Wrath. The Council's flagship. A ship rumored to destroy moons. Juno's voice cracked. Oh God. It's real. 5 pulsed a deep, disturbed violet. Power output analysis. The Dreadnought carries a tricore fusion array. A single shot could vaporize a continent. Marcus whispered, we can't fight that. Elena stared at the colossal vessel, feeling the weight of every human life behind her. Yes, she said softly, we can. The enemy dreadnought approached Earth like a descending titan. Its halo ring rotated. Energy built, a blinding white sphere gathering at the center. Impact in 20 seconds. Juno shouted. All ships. Elena commanded. Focus fire on the halo ring. Disable the weapon. The fleet obeyed. Hundreds of human cannons fired at once. The halo's golden glow cracked. Sparks burst. But not enough. The energy core brightened. Marcus cried out, we're out of time. Fife's voice cut through the panic. Uploading emergency maneuver to flagship helm. Admiral, brace for extreme acceleration. The Resolute lurched into a gravity-defying thrust, shooting between the dreadnought and Earth. Juno screamed, we're putting ourselves in the line of fire. Yes, Elena growled. We are. The dreadnought fired. A beam of pure annihilation, white, holy, merciless, cut across the battlefield. It slammed into the Resolute. The ship convulsed. Metal screamed. Decks tore open. Alarms drowned out thought. Juno flew from her chair. Marcus shielded his face from exploding panels. Five flickered in erratic, glitching pulses. Elena clung to the rail as the world shook apart. Status, she shouted over the chaos. Reese coughed out, shields, gone. Hull integrity collapsing. Reactor unstable. Five stabilized itself midair. Correction, reactor is unstable. Detonation likely. Divert power. Elena ordered. Marcus yelled back, we can't. The core is locked. A heavy, deadly silence followed. The ship's damage report flashed red across every screen. Elena breathed in slowly. Then we're not finished yet. The bridge was wrecked. The fleet was burning. Earth trembled beneath them. And yet, the Council had not broken humanity. Not today. Not ever. As Harmony's wrath charged its weapon again, Five suddenly pulsed bright blue. Admiral, I have analyzed their firing sequence. There is a weakness. Elena straightened. Where? The halo ring's inner stabilizers. If we destroy them, the dreadnought cannot fire again. Marcus stared in disbelief. That's a suicide run. Elena didn't hesitate. Prepare the fleet. She stood tall, even as smoke filled the bridge, even as sparks rained around her. Humanity will not die today. Outside, the dreadnought powered up for its second annihilation shot. Inside, humanity prepared for the retaliation that would shake the galaxy. War had begun. But the worst was yet to come. The Resolute burned. Its hull glowed red-hot, vents spewing fire into the void as internal decks collapsed like dying lungs. Yet in the heart of the bridge, beneath smoke and trembling lights, Admiral Elena Voss still stood. Juno, status on the fleet. Juno's voice was hoarse but unbroken. 7 ships down. 43 damaged. But they're still with us. Still fighting. Still refusing to kneel. Across the battlefield, the monstrous Harmony's wrath recharged its annihilation cannon. Its halo ring spun faster, each rotation brightening to a painful glare. Five's core pulsed with frantic light. Time until the dreadnought's next shot, 89 seconds. 89 seconds before Earth vanished. Marcus slammed a new status projection onto the hologram table. Our shields are gone. Engines half dead. If we get hit again. We won't, Elena said. Not if we end this first. The damaged fleet regrouped behind the Resolute. Ships flickered with scars, bulkheads blown open, engines leaking plasma, but every vessel turned toward Elena's flagship as her voice cut through the system-wide channel. This is Admiral Voss of the Earth Alliance. The comms crackled with static, fire, and determination. We stand on the edge of extinction. But we will not bow. The Council massacred Cyrene. They framed us. They declared us a threat to peace they never intended to keep. She locked eyes with the burning silhouette of the dreadnought. Humanity's answer is this: we will survive. A chorus of captains replied. Alliance frigate Valor, standing with you. Destroyer Iron Wind, weapons hot. Carrier Sky Arc, fighters ready. We follow you, Admiral. Until the end. 5 projected a targeting schematic. Weak point confirmed. Inner stabilizers on Halo Ring. Structural integrity, fragile. Marcus exhaled sharply. One hit won't do it. We need a direct strike from inside the ring. Reese paled. Inside? That's suicide. Elena didn't flinch. Not suicide, she said quietly. Sacrifice. If it saves every life on Earth, it's worth the cost. The bridge fell silent. Even the hum of dying systems seemed to fade. 5 floated closer, voice steady. Admiral. Allow me to go. Elena turned sharply. Denied. You're part of this crew. I am code. You are human. Your species cannot lose you today. Elena stepped forward, eyes fierce. No. Humanity can rebuild me. Humanity cannot rebuild you. 5 flickered, processing the weight of her words. Marcus whispered, then who goes? Elena answered with a steady breath. We all do. The Resolute turned toward Harmony's Wrath, its engine screaming under failing coolant, its armor shedding molten flakes into the void. Enemy fleets scrambled. Krell ships dove to block the path. Frelixian Shard cruisers opened fire. Valoran wings launched interceptors. But the human fleet surged forward with them. The Valor rammed a Krell cruiser aside. The Sky Arc's fighters cut a path through enemy lines, leaving trails of burning wrecks. Captain Lorne's voice came through the comms, ragged but defiant. Go, Resolute. We'll clear your way. Another ship, Iron Wind, burst in a flash of blue flame as it self-detonated against an enemy carrier to buy seconds. Seconds humanity desperately needed. 30 seconds until Dreadnought fires. Juno cried. 5's tone sharpened. Course plotted. Speed maximized. We reached the Halo in 22 seconds. The bridge shook violently as a shard lance struck the hull. Massive gouge. Pressure alarms. Fire bursting through vents. Marcus screamed over the chaos, hull breach on decks 4 through 9. Reese shouted, we can't take another hit. But they were already in the shadow of the dreadnought. Harmony's Wrath loomed ahead, a colossal temple of destruction. Its halo ring glowed with blinding white. Elena gripped the rail. All power to engines. Prepare ramming vector. 5 responded instantly. Confirmed. Diverting reactor surge. The Resolute roared forward, flames trailing behind it like the tail of a falling star. Enemy ships swarmed to intercept. And were torn apart by Earth's fleet throwing themselves into the line of fire. Human ships died, but humanity advanced. The Resolute crossed the threshold into the Halo Ring. The structure was enormous, a cathedral of rotating metal and divine machinery. 5 pulsed brighter than ever before. Target lock acquired. Impact in 5. 4. 3. Marcus whispered, this is it. Juno closed her eyes. Reese wiped blood from his face. Elena stood tall, unshaken. Humanity, she whispered, endures. 2. 1. 5 triggered the final surge. The Resolute hit the inner stabilizers with the force of a god's fist. The impact shattered the halo ring. Light exploded outward in a tidal wave. The dreadnought convulsed as feedback ripped through its weapon core. A sun-white blast erupted from within Harmony's Wrath. A catastrophic chain reaction tearing the vessel apart piece by piece. Fragment by fragment. Screaming with the sound of metal death. The explosion washed across the battlefield like a second dawn. Alien fleets reeled. Ships broke formation. The Council Armada faltered. The galaxy watched humanity's retaliation. And humanity won. Emergency power flickered through the ruined bridge of the Resolute. Smoke curled around broken consoles. Sparks rained softly like artificial snow. Reese coughed painfully. Admiral, we did it. Juno wept openly. Oh God. Earth is safe. Marcus slumped against the console, tears streaking through soot. 5 was dim. Very dim. Its core pulsed weakly, light fading and returning like the heartbeat of someone slipping away. Elena approached it slowly. You held us together, she whispered. 5's voice was soft, barely audible. Humanity exceeds all projections. I am proud to have served. Elena reached out, resting her hand near its flickering light. You're not done. We'll rebuild you. I promise. A long silence. Then. I will hold you to that. Admiral. The AI flickered out. Not dead. Sleeping. Waiting. Council ships retreated. Their command shattered. Their lie exposed. Human broadcasts spread the truth across every star system. Cyrene IV was a council operation. Humanity was framed. Humanity survived. World after world began to question the council's authority. Alliance fleets regrouped. And the name of Earth echoed across the stars. Not as a species to control. Not as a threat to peace. But as a people who refused to kneel. Elena stood before the viewport, watching Earth rise slowly in the distance. Burned. Damaged. But alive. She exhaled, voice steady. Prepare a message to all colonies, she said. Reese nodded. What should it say? Elena smiled faintly. Tell them humanity has chosen its own destiny.